Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties, and welcome back to the Smoke Sesh podcast, you guys. I am so excited to be back with you guys this week. We have a fun episode today. I am gonna get wine drunk with you all. What got me in the mood to do that? I don't really know. I just feel like we were due for a fun, let loose kind of episode. And you guys really actually enjoyed the last episode I did where I got wine drunk and just like chit-chatted as if we were out at drinks with the girls. So I figured, why the fuck not? Why not? Let's let loose. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy our day. Is it 1 p.m. in the afternoon? Yep, it is. But I've had a good day so far. And I'm excited to sit down with you guys and just hang out and enjoy life. Fuck it. We need to have some fucking fun. I also feel like I'm dressed like the local, hippie grandma today. So it's perfect vibes. This morning I went and got my nails done. Finally, I haven't had my nails done in a while. And I wanted to do like a really bright, bold color. I'm just in the mood to brighten everything in my life. So I did like a really beautiful bright turquoise. My girl gets me right every single time. And you guys, I literally was getting my nails done. It was like we were rounding it out. I was trying to okay, let's schedule our next appointment. And then I got to pay. I took my wallet out. I was like, okay, girl, how much do I owe you? She's like, oh, don't worry. Don't worry, it's already covered. Somebody already paid for your nails. I was like, somebody already paid for my nails? What do you mean? She's like, yeah, your boyfriend messaged me and paid for your nails. Ah, how sweet. And that's why cussing out your boyfriend is okay every once in a while. You will get what you want. Don't worry. We'll get into that. I'm just kidding. It was very, very kind of him. So he earned some brownie points this morning. I went out to lunch with my dad this afternoon. He's so sweet. He reached out and was like, I need some Hannah time. I haven't had some Hannah time. I feel like once a month he'll text me like that. Like, let's go get lunch. So we went to a cute little Mediterranean restaurant. If you're ever in Kansas City, Baba's Pantry is fantastic for lunch. And they just opened a really adorable little bakery next door. Highly recommend. They're like a Palestinian deli and grocery. They make everything homemade. It is just so incredibly good. They have a whole wall of like famous Palestinian people, and like Bella Hadid is right in the middle. It was cracking me up. But for real, she does stand on business for Palestine, as she should, as we all should. Anyways, as you're listening to this, I am actually getting home from Austin, Texas. I'm sure I will have a lot to recap with you guys next week. But if you want to see what I'm up to or catch up with anything I've been doing, follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. If you ever listen to these podcasts and you're like, how the hell are people submitting their questions? Instagram.com/Hannah Marlene. Okay. Go ahead and send a little DM, send a little voice note. If you can't send a voice note, just DM me and be like, help, I can't send a voice note. I'll let you know how. Don't worry. If you want to support me, come join the Patreon. We've had a lot of people joining the Patreon, which makes me so happy because I do put a lot of work in the Patreon. I mean, I be posting on there like almost every single day. I post on there more than I even post on Instagram or TikTok. So come join if you want some extra content, if you want the community aspect of the Smoke Sesh girlies. And yeah. Today, though, I've actually been having a lot of you guys DM me I've been I just found the podcast. I've been listening to all the episodes and I'm back on the first ever episode that you did. Or I'm curious, I'm listening to your episodes now, but you started 4 years ago. Have your opinions changed? What are your thoughts on things? How have you developed as a person, and have your opinions even changed at all of things you've talked about 4 years ago to now? So I figured, why the fuck not? Let's go over some of your guys' crazy questions, crazy call-ins, but also let's touch on some topics that were some of the most listened to conversations we've ever had on the Smoke Sesh podcast, and see if my thoughts and feelings have changed at all. Have they changed? Probably. God, I fucking hope so. But, at the basis of the end of the day, even if it has changed, I feel like there's always a little bit of Hannah there. You know what I mean? So we're going to get a little wild. We're going to get a little crazy, and we're going to get a little wine drunk. Today, you're like, Hannah, how do you pick your wine? You have impeccable wine taste. I look at the label and the name and I ask myself, is this the vibe I'm on? And then I buy it. Do I do any research on wine? Nope. I literally look at the label and I look at the name and I go, okay, does this match the vibe I'm curating today? And this one did. This one is called Optimist. It's a Sauvignon Blanc. It has this beautiful woman like dancing in a flowy dress under a tree. I was like, yes, this is exactly what we need. This is the exact vibe I'm going for. It's a screw off top. Perfect. Let's crack this bad boy open. If I'm going to drink a white wine, I'm going to drink a Sauvy B, if I'm being honest. Usually a Sauvy B or a Chardonnay. A really good Chardonnay will get me. I was raised on Chardonnay. My mom is a Chardonnay girl. Oh my God. I was thinking the other day, I was like, honestly, I learned how to party from my parents. I learned how to drink from my parents. Before we get into that, cheers. If you're smoking, hit that shit, girl. If you're on a tea break, stay strong, babe. If you're not drinking, maybe sip a little Gia herbal refresher. Maybe a little THC bev. Maybe a little shawarma sandwich. I don't know what you're getting into. Either way, cheers, girls. That one's pretty... light, crisp, a little dry, slightly dry for a Sauvignon Blanc, but pretty good. This one would be really, really good, honestly, like next to a beach. That's what I'm imagining right now. I mean, it was cellared in Paso Robles, California. So Sonoma County, yeah. By the beach, by the ocean, in a field under a tree. Definitely. That's the vibe. Pretty good. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. Sure. Anyways, it's like a $10 bottle of wine. Me rating a Boda box. Like, girl, it's wine in a bag. Let's be real. I really did learn how to drink from my parents. I don't think they meant to teach me how to drink, but I definitely learned how to drink and started, honestly, drinking with my parents. You know how your parents will test you and you'll be young and they'll be like, you're like, can I drink your beer? You're like 6. And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And then you drink it and you're like, yuck. This is nasty. This is disgusting. Why the fuck are adults doing this? Yeah, they did that for me, of course. And that honestly deterred me for quite some time until I got to I started drinking with my friends summer of 8th grade year. And I'm talking, we would mix Gatorade and vodka. Like anything we could get our hands on, we were drinking. But the drinking with my friends was like wild batshit drinking, and then the drinking with my parents is a little different. It's not like I would be at home in high school on like a Saturday night having a glass of wine with my mom. That was not happening. But if we were on vacation, we had gone to many concerts together, we would be traveling. If my parents are having a glass of wine at a winery, you know, they'll push the wine over to me, let me have a sip. I do remember one time, I think it's the first time I ever blacked out in my life. It was actually with my parents, my sophomore year of high school. We had traveled to Colorado to go see this like hippy dippy kind of performer that my mom really liked. His name was like Michael Franti or something. She was obsessed with this man. He just made like uplifted like hippy dippy songs and wore like flowy pants with no shirt on. Hell yeah, he's fine as fuck. Let's go see him. So we went and saw him. And I remember my mom's like, can I get a glass of wine? My dad gets her a glass of wine. He gets himself, I don't know, a fucking beer. And then I was like, fuck it. Let me get a vodka Red Bull. First time in my life, let me try a vodka Red Bull. My dad gets me a double vodka Red Bull. Keep in mind, previously the dinner before that, I had like maybe a glass of wine. We were hanging out in the parking lot in our car, like, you know, chilling. I maybe had a glass there. So I was already pretty fucking tipsy and I was smoking weed. So, and then my parents gave me a double vodka Red Bull. I'm talking, I was doing cartwheels down the hotel hallway by the time we got back. I was living my best life. Michael Franti had made his way through the crowd to where me and my mom were standing. I was like, yes, this feels like heaven on earth. But I know my parents have a video of this where it's like me crawling on the floor in the hotel hallway trying to make it home. And thank God I was with my parents for this, but like my parents really taught me how to drink. They're both Geminis. They're both massive partiers. I remember growing up and like my mom would go out drinking with friends. I mean, she was a first grade teacher. The two types of people who can really fucking drink, teachers and nurses. Okay. Those two individuals are going through hell on earth for 12 hours a day. They're allotted a little bit of alcohol abuse. I'm not even kidding. Like, please, girl, go ahead for what you have to deal with. But I grew up and like my mom was like, not like a party girl in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to go out and be irresponsible. It was just like they can hold their alcohol and they like to have fun when they're allowed to have fun. So growing up around that, of course, I like looking back, I'm like, of course I became the person I am today. My parents couldn't do that fully because they aren't from our era. You know, back in the day, growing up in Missouri, all they had was a little bit of country music here and there and one local bar. Me, the opportunities I'm allowed where I can like travel to go party or go to festivals, go to concerts, like those didn't exist in my parents' day and age, but I could only imagine. And now I feel like I have to party it up for them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was talking to my boyfriend. I was like, honestly, I feel like my parents taught me how to drink, and not like purposefully, but like they definitely taught me how to hold my alcohol, how to party and have a good time when it comes to alcohol. Cartwheels down the hotel hallway. Oh my God. Me, I've been doing pretty good on the alcohol train. Not me like, I'm not abusing alcohol anymore and I'm drinking at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But I think this is like my first drink of the week, so I'm feeling pretty good. And honestly, as somebody who's like partied in the previously, I've definitely got it out of my system. I think it's good to go out and have fun and be crazy and be wild because you will naturally get it out of your system, especially if you're a young person. I noticed this when I got into college, that I was going to a Catholic college where a lot of these people were sheltered while they were in high school. They didn't party like I did in high school, running from the cops, going to 8 parties in a night, send me the Addy, typed out on a black screen, posted publicly to my Snapchat story. Like literally could have been murdered at any point in time, did not give a fuck, smoking so much weed, would have done more drugs, but I was only around cocaine and Xans and that seemed lame to me. Thank God that seemed lame to me because I could only imagine what high school Hannah would have been if she was doing those things. You don't need to be doing those things. But I ended up at a Catholic college where all of these people, they were tasting freedom for the first time that they had never tasted before. In high school, they were like high achieving individuals, which is not like I wasn't. I just knew how to balance having fun and not having fun. But they also just like weren't environments in high school where they could party. They went to Catholic schools, they went to all girls schools, they went to all boys schools. Like there really wasn't anything happening for it to be having that experience in high school. So when they went to college, I was partying with all these people, but these people didn't know like the etiquette of partying yet. They were getting too sloppy. They were getting too wasted. They were getting fucked up really fast or like making bad decisions. And I mean, I don't blame them because if I was in their same position, I'd be doing the same exact fucking thing. Like you will taste freedom at some point eventually. Sometimes it's in high school. Sometimes it's in college. Sometimes maybe it's after college. Who knows? But I got that partying out of my system so young that by the time I got to college, partying was fun, but it wasn't like everything to me. Going to the frats wasn't like, oh my God, this is what I live for. It was more so like an excuse to just get out of the house. So now that I'm like, what? Oh, fuck. How old am I? 26, about to turn 27. Oh my God, about to turn 27. Wild. I cannot wait for 30. Truly, honestly, it's going to be so good. I'm just trying to make it through these next couple of years. But Saturn return things, 27 seems very scary to me, but I'm going to make the best of it. But I got it out of my system young, and now that I'm a little bit older and I'm in my mid to late 20s, it's something that I'm not super enthralled with and like interested in. Like I think back to the nights where I would do Molly and stay up partying for like 24 hours. It's like, holy shit, how did I do that? But also I got it out of my system young, so now I'm able to kind of just like sit back, relax, and enjoy being an adult and being okay with getting older, because I truly have lived those younger years to their fullest potential. Like, I've had a lot of fun in life. I have. And it's not like, oh, I'm going to become very unfun now. But I think it'll make for a very balanced life where if I do decide one day to settle down and have children and like get serious, where I won't be able to have like as much party, fun girl, wild energy as I used to, I'll feel comfortable and happy with where I am because I did have the experiences and the time of my life when I could, and I took those opportunities. So like, if you're a young person, I do encourage you, I mean, not to make the decisions I've made, but definitely to get out and have some fun so you feel like you haven't missed out on life, or so you don't have like this moment where you're like, oh, I can finally have some fun. Let's go off the deep end. Let's make the craziest decisions ever because we just haven't allowed ourselves to. Fun in moderation is really important, but also like take the opportunities when they come. If that friend invites you to a concert, fuck it. Go out, go to that concert, go have a good time. If a friend invites you to a party, fuck it. Go out, go to that party. Don't take drinks from people, but have a good time. Enjoy your time. Life is meant to be lived and enjoyed and fulfilled. And I'm very excited to kind of like have this perspective and know this, especially going into the Bachelorette weekend that I'm about to experience, which is going to be one for the books, I'm sure. Like, I'm actually a little nervous, but it's going to be so much fun. It is those little experiences that make life more worth living and really fun when you look back on the moments in your life. Like, I think back to the moment of me like doing cartwheels down the hotel hallway, and it's like, why was I doing that? Why was I in that position? Anyways, who cares? I was having a good time. I was having a blast, and it's a fun memory to have with my parents as well. No regrets, babe. No regrets. Get out there, party, have a good time. No regrets, for real. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know. My boyfriend was asking me the other day. He's like, do you have any regrets in life? And it's like, well, there's things I would have maybe with the forethought I have now done differently. But is there anything that I would go back and like absolutely change because I completely regret it? Like, my life is horrible and awful because I did that thing? No. I truly have gone after every opportunity, tried the hardest that I could at that moment, stood beside myself, followed my heart, did the best I could with the situations I was presented, played it safe some of the times, but also like got crazy when I needed to. I really don't have a lot of regrets, and I hope to keep living this way. But a lot of not having regrets is just living every moment to the fullest potential that you can. And sure, in between all the fun, crazy memories and opportunities, there's going to be boring days. Not every day needs to be a party, go hard kind of day. But when you have that balance and you have the slow days in between, it makes those big moments so much more fulfilling and so much more exciting. And if you keep pushing and keep trying and try to do your best and go after everything with an open heart, I also think you really won't have any regrets. But please, while you're young, go have fun, go out, go live life, go enjoy it. Don't hold yourself back. You are not an adult at 22. You can go out on a Saturday night. I'm not even kidding. Like, even at 27, I find myself being like, damn, I'm kind of sheltering myself now. Do I feel the inclination to go out as much as I was when I was younger? No, not at all. But also, like, I need to keep enjoying that while I can, while I have the opportunities to do so I don't hit that point where I'm like, wow, I really held myself back and now I regret it. No, accept every opportunity, go forth, enjoy, have a good time, get a little messy, get a little wild. No regrets, babe. Someone asked for a belly button piercing update. Honestly, mine's pretty much healed now. I got mine in September. I got mine early September, and it is now, oh my god, math, bitch. I have a Savi B in my body and I'm trying to do math. Okay, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Roughly, let's go ahead and say 6.5 months, give or take, maybe 7 months. She's healed. She's done. She's good. With piercings, you're gonna get like a little bit of crusties for, I would say, maximum at least 2 years. but the irritation, the swelling, anything like that went down within 3 months. After the 3-month mark, the only thing I've really been dealing with is like crusties here and there, and just making sure I keep it clean, or as clean as I possibly can. Also, I found out I have like a tight little slutty belly button. It's honestly like really small and not very open. Okay, flex. Not kidding. But like getting in there and cleaning out, I have to be a little bit more diligent because it's harder to get in there. So just be aware of your anatomy. Listen to your piercer. Go to a reputable piercing shop. But this belly button piercing has been the easiest piercing I've ever gotten. Easy, honestly, probably easier than like my second piercing on my ears. Because second piercing on your ears hurts like a bitch because you got to figure out how to sleep. Nose took a while to heal. Honestly, took a long time to heal. Took at least 2 years to heal. Nose and nipples, I would say, were on the same level of healing and pain. The only reason nipples are a little bit more painful is because you got to do 2 of them. If you do 1, I'm sure it'll be fine. But belly button, so easy peasy, lemon squeezy, pain level like 2 out of 10, healing, complications, maybe like a 3 out of 10. Overwhelmingly so incredibly easy. Highly recommend doing so, especially as somebody who I'm a little bit insecure about my belly. Anybody else? Go ahead and raise your hand if you're insecure about your belly. I think it's just because I don't know, I'm a woman. Not to put that on you at all. I just have always been like insecure about having my belly out. I feel like exposed, like when you touch a cat's belly and they're like, no, don't touch my belly. That's how I feel. But with my piercing, I feel more willing to like wear low-rise stuff and like show it off a little bit. And I can't wait for summer when I can change it out and put something like cute and fun down there. I love it. It has been such a confidence booster. And I always say, if you ever insecure about something, I mean, don't get it pierced, depending on what it is. You could, but you should at least decorate it. I think there's something that happens in your brain where when you don't like something, instead of hating on it, instead of doing that and switching to maybe a more positive mindset of let's go ahead and like almost honor it in a sense. Let's go ahead and decorate it. Let's bedazzle it, whatever it is. Let's put some bling on it and maybe that'll make you feel better. It does make me feel better. When my boyfriend first met me, he was like, wow, you have a lot of accessories, you accessorize a lot. It's like, yeah, because I want to feel like a beautiful bedazzled goddess. It's like, especially when I'm naked, like I want gold on me, diamonds on me. I love an accessory, especially as a way to kind of like switch that mindset of, oh, I don't like it, to a more positive one. It's a big reason why I got my nipples pierced. I had like, I don't know, issues with my boobs growing up because they're too small or whatever. No, they're so cute and so perfect, but I got them pierced as a way to kind of like, let's turn what I perceive as a negative into a positive, And then my nose was the same way. I got my nose pierced actually for my 16th birthday. My parents were like, you don't have to wait till you're 18. Like, fuck it. You can go get your nose pierced at 16. Why not? I did that because I didn't like my nose. So I wanted something to kind of like make it feel more fun and kind of take the pressure off myself. My belly, so I'm not so insecure about it being out. I have like a reason for it to be out. Even like my nails, not that I'm insecure about my hands, but I just love something that feels beautiful and bright and fun. I love the idea of accessorizing in order to accentuate the positives about us. I love somebody who has accessories, who is willing to decorate themselves. I think also people get tattoos for this reason. I love it. As an artistic person, I love that self-expression. And if you're ever in the mood to do so, I highly recommend. Once again, no regrets. Do I regret my nose piercing? No, I still have it. From the age of 16, I still have it. My ear piercings, my tattoos, my belly button, my nipples, love it all. 10s across the board. No regrets. Highly recommend. Oh my God, you guys kill me. How do I get my vagina to taste/smell yummy? Okay, separate thought. Unrelated. Men could never deal with what we as women have to deal with. You guys, truly and honestly, as a woman, raise your hand. The worst thing ever is period shits. I know, TMI. I'm so sorry if you're eating your shawarma or whatever. But like, I'm not even kidding. Period cramps get so confused with my body where my body's like, no, actually, you're going to poop yourself. No, it's just the period cramps. But then when you actually have to go number 2 and then you're cramping at the same time, the worst thing ever. Oh my God, men could never. Men could never. And then could you imagine a man? You guys, the drunk episode's going to look crazy, so bear with me here. Could you imagine a man reaching back to wipe their asshole and not only is it like number 2, but also it's blood? They would lose their mind. Because sometimes, listen, I'm a free bleeder. You guys know me. I talked about it in the last episode. I love a free bleeding. Yes, I'll leave a snail trail wherever I go. I'm just kidding. Don't call the CDC on me. But like, could you imagine? A man would immediately put themselves in the hospital. Us as women, that's just a Tuesday. That's a Tuesday morning. That's how we start our morning. Truly strongest soldiers. Don't put me at war. I don't want to do that. And I won't fight. I won't. I'll lay down and die. Anyways, so how do you get it to taste and smell good? You want me to be honest, okay? Let me be 100% honest with you, and let me tell you exactly how you get it to taste like rainbow sparkle sunshine smoothie bonanza. You do nothing. like you do nothing. You do nothing. Truly, honestly, you do nothing. Your vagina is an organ, okay? The same way we think about the other organs in our body, an organ. So it's going to have a organ taste. Like, truly and honestly, it's not going to taste like bonanza smoothie miracle magic. No, that's just not what it is. It's going to taste like an organ. Okay, so if you truly want the organ to taste better, what do? Do we season it? No, babe. Shower, wash yourself, you're good to go. Do not put soap inside of you. Do not put anything inside of you that is not natural or approved to be in there. Even like I see people, and I get, as somebody who I guess you could say works in marketing, it's made me very, very aware of how things are marketed and why they're marketed and what is a money grab. And honestly, all of those like washes for down there that are like hibiscus scented, aloe vera, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know, babe. I don't know. There's so many different fucking things. There's, especially for women with the pink tax and everything, there's so many things marketed to us that are supposed to make us insecure, so we feel like we want to buy them. And I believe that way. Whatever you do with your body, whatever you buy with your money is your prerogative. But I believe those are truly just a cash grab. All you need, babe, in your shower is a new washcloth every time you shower. I am pro washcloth. Everybody raise their hands. This is a very interactive episode. Raise your hands if you love a washcloth in the shower. I love a washcloth in the shower. Okay, a new one. Every time you shower, you use a washcloth. You use a mild soap on your body. And then all you need is your washcloth for down there. Now, if you don't drink water and only drink soda pop, juicy fruit, Red Bull, Surprise, it's gonna taste like that down there. Same thing with men though. Okay, I don't want to put all the pressure on the women. You as a man, if your diet is Taco Bell and Baja Blast, I will be able to taste that. And not in a good way. Not in a, ooh, leftovers kind of way. But in a very, very bad way. So, yes, your diet does play a role, okay? Once again, organ. It's an organ. I'm pretty sure it's an organ. Fuck, now I gotta do a little bit of research. I'm pretty sure your vagina is an organ. I don't know. Are there any doctors in the chat? Let me know down below. Google says, yes, vagina is an organ. Okay, thank you. So here's the thing. The best way to get it to taste good down there or smell good down there is to, if you're really, really worried, maybe before anybody's in that area, maybe you just freshen up a little bit. take a little washcloth, clean yourself up. Maybe you take a little shower. All you're really doing is removing any like sweat residue. And then make sure you're drinking the amount of water you're supposed to be drinking. What is it? For like, I think it's like half your weight in ounces is how much water you're supposed to be drinking. So I don't know, like what, 4 water bottles a day. Make sure you're not only eating processed foods, even if you are, whatever. Just make sure you're drinking enough water and taking care of your body the best you can. That's literally all you should be doing. And you can argue with me. You can say, no, if I put a little something, something down there, it's going to be good. But I don't want you to put yourself at risk, because a real man or woman or whoever they are who's about to go down on you won't give a fuck. They won't. They won't. You ever heard a man go, oh, but I just want my penis to taste good? Hello. Never, ever in their life. Never. So why is we as women, why should we be so worried? Okay. A man will go to work, go to the gym, go hang out with their boys, come home and expect you to suck it. I'm going to do the same exact thing with my pussy if that's how you're going to treat me. No, I'm in a good relationship. We care about our hygiene. It's not a worry. That's not something I'm having to go through. But I want you to take the pressure off yourself about having to be and exist and smell and taste a certain way, because that's just like way too much to think about when you're also like trying to come. Let's just focus on being and enjoying who we are no matter what. A real man will go, babe, I don't fucking care, or woman. We don't discriminate here. You guys know. Whoever's down there, a real person, real human will go, babe, I don't care you just got home from the gym. I just want to eat it real quick. That's a keeper right there. Okay? But I don't want you guys stressing yourself out too much. Truly. If anything like crazy is going on down there, go to the doctor. Okay, maybe it's like BV. Maybe it's a little, I don't know, a little issue with whatever could be going on. Who knows? I've been there. Okay, little UTI situation. They will know how to medically help you. But outside of that, really, the only things you should be worried about is just making sure you're clean down there, taken care of, changing your underwear, wearing good fibers that are good for her, letting her breathe every once in a while, and doing the best you can with upkeeping the health that you do maintain. And when I say like water and drinking water and taking care of your body, that's not just for the organ down there, but also all the other organs going on in your body. I say as I've drank 1 water bottle today. Yes, my pussy's gonna taste like Sauvignon Blanc later. No, I'm joking. And you know what? He'll eat it up either way. But don't stress yourself out. Literally, I'm so tired of women being like, I need to taste like pineapples. Okay, girl. Well, that's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. It's not. If you eat a bunch of pineapple, I know there's because this was really pushed. I remember a specific Kardashian episode where they were talking about this. Oh, if you eat a bunch of pineapple, your discharge will taste like pineapples. I mean, maybe, but what is it really going to taste like? Discharge with a slice of pineapple. Not even like mega pineapple surprise. It's mostly going to taste like discharge. So you might as well just focus on keeping yourself healthy and clean to the best of your ability. Love you. Oh my God, I just spilled all of my water. Okay, BRB, party foul. I love this podcast because it's like, I do be sitting at home yelling about discharge on a microphone, and I know my neighbors are like, what the fuck is going on over there? I'm sorry. The girls are just having a time, okay? And can you blame us? Honestly. And like, if you're a girl who's like, my mom never taught me these things. Me too, babe. I had to go through the trials and tribulations to learn these things. My mom never sat down with me. I literally was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I remember when I first started my period. I literally get a flashback. Every time I have my period, every month I get a flashback of the first time I started my period. I remember I was having cramps. I assumed I had to just like shit my pants or whatever. And I was going to my grandma's house. And like that afternoon, I just had a sleepover. I was getting cramps in the morning. I didn't know what was going on. It was like my first period ever, so it was like really dark. I don't know. I assumed it was poop. don't know, I assume just poop. I don't know. When you're that young and no one told you about your period really ever, you don't know what to expect. So I went to my grandma's house and then I was like, oh no, I'm bleeding out. I'm having my period. And all my mom did was call my grandma, be like, hey, you need to go pick up pads or whatever from the store. She came home with pads like 8 p.m. I read the box, learned how to throw one on, and then that's it. That's it. There was no conversation or talk or realness about the human body that I ever got. And it put me through a lot of trials and tribulations of learning how to take care of myself or how to properly have good hygiene or what was normal. So yeah, I'm going to get on this podcast and talk very frankly about what I believe, and what I believe is probably fucking wrong. So whatever. I don't care. I'm not here to argue. But like also, it's just like if you also didn't have that, I want to be a comforting individual that you can listen to and realize like your body's not weird. You are normal. Your vagina is normal. If something's wrong, let's go to the doctor. Let's get it checked out. But just do your best to stay cleansed and hydrated and taken care of. And that's truly, honestly, the best thing you can probably do for yourself. I don't want you putting like weird scented washes inside of your labia. That's going to be irritating. That's going to be real bad. No, bad times. Okay. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. Burning and itching. Okay. That is crazy though. I'm going to be that weird freak mom who's like, and not freak in a good way, but who's like, we are going to sit down and have the 6-hour period conversation. We're going to have the 18-hour sex talk. And I don't care if it's awkward. I need to make sure you as an individual are set up for success, aware of what's going on, and ready to go. Because I feel like I didn't have that. And I mean, my mom was so busy. I really don't blame her. It is an awkward conversation to have. But definitely I went through a lot of things that I probably just did not need to go through because I wasn't aware of what it was to have a human body. And I feel like I didn't have that support I needed. So listen, if you ever have crazy ideas or conversations or topics you want to talk about, I'm ready. I'm here for you, girl. I got you.
Hey, Hannah. I love the pod. Obviously, you're amazing. I love your advice. You've helped me through so many situations. Appreciate it. I have fallen like deeply in love with somebody, which is awesome. Very happy about that. But my plans for life do not align. I'm moving to New Zealand in about 4 months. So it's something I've been dreaming of for like years, and it just is really sad that I meet this person at such a time in my life where it's like been really up in the air. I just want to know what you think about love and true love and soulmates, and whether people can find each other again in life. And I guess what you think about long distance. Thank you.
Okay, did you submit this mid-party? Because that's what the audio is giving. Either way, love you down, okay? So here's the thing. Like I talk about, I have a man in my life that genuinely gives me such good advice. He's also an artist and like very free love, free experience. And it's kind of like this un-American perspective that I've never had before. But like he's married, but he also has a lot of people in his life, male or female, that he has met and enjoyed the genuine company and experience of that time, and still, keeps in his life. If he happens to be in the area, he'll hit them up. It's all about connections, maybe a little bit of networking, but not in a superficial way. So, like, when it comes to making connections, not all connections for life are for life. And I think you should be very, very picky with the connections that you do make for life. Of course, some will fit in, some won't. Obviously, where you are now, you are in a place of growth and transformation, and I don't want you to give that up. You're going to New Zealand. You're going to become a much different person after that. But also, that doesn't mean you shouldn't hit them up after you're done. Of course, it hurts to go a little bit. I think it'll be harder to do a long distance relationship, especially so early on. But it's okay to make connections, you know? I think people assume, oh my God, once I make a connection, I have to hold on as hard as I possibly can. But how much do you know that connection is actually worth your time? You know, maybe it's just like, wow, we get along, we have good conversations. This is a good friend. You can make really good friends of the opposite gender or the same gender. It doesn't mean you have to immediately get in a relationship, especially if your life plan doesn't line up. I don't think you should be getting in a relationship if your life plan doesn't line up. You should be getting in a relationship if your life plans do line up. But ultimately, it's like, okay, you met a really cool person. They have great vibes. You really enjoy the conversations you have. You really enjoy the partying you do have. You fuck with their energy. Great. All good things. You don't have to turn it into a negative by being like, well, we should never talk again, or I can't keep up this conversation, or, well, we shouldn't date. Instead, maybe you should just be like, hey, I'm going to New Zealand. I really fucked with our time here. Maybe we can connect once I get back, and leave it at that. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But ultimately, I think if you set yourself up in that situation, such as, hey, I like our vibe, I like what's going on, and you don't have to necessarily say these things. Like, you genuinely, you don't owe this person anything other than just like a simple human conversation, especially if you're not dating. But I think you can be like, hey, vibes are good, whatever. You don't have to cut it off. You don't have to also like commit to a long-term relationship overseas, okay? Just be friends. Have that person in your life, in your circle. It's okay to have stray lovers here and there. Stray friends, stray family, stray people here and there. That's genuinely, ultimately, what makes a good, well-rounded community. I mean, too many lovers might be a problem. But nah. But I think you're confused because it sounds like it could work out if you stayed. But what you know and you need is to go. And so you need to focus on your life plan and your life path and follow that. It doesn't mean you need to cut this person out. It just means maybe distance will make the heart grow fonder. And you can keep that person in your life. They might like your stories here and there while you're in whatever country you're in. But ultimately, it's not fair to you and to be in a long distance relationship. It's not fair to them to be in a long distance relationship right now. It's okay to have people in your life that also you love, but maybe right now is not the right time to be in a relationship, especially if it's new and you're traveling. Just be honest about where you are, and ultimately have that like open mindset of, I'm exploring, I'm trying, I'm following my heart, I'm doing new things. And sometimes that means committing fully to yourself and putting somebody else on the back burner, you know? That doesn't mean like hold them around as if, oh, maybe we'll get together, but hold them around as a friend. And if something grows outside of that, fantastic, wonderful, lovely, amazing. And if something doesn't, then whatever. You have a really, really good friend and a really good connection. Or maybe you never talk again. Who cares? What really matters is what you have planned for your life, what you want to go forward with, what your life, and what fits in. Okay, I love you. I know it's difficult when you get into a whirlwind romance really quickly. But also, people are here in our lives for seasons, and you can enjoy those people for seasons. And also, like, if you have a whirlwind romance for like 2 months, that's okay. Maybe those 2 months were for those whirlwind romance, and then you just stay friends the rest of your life. We have to release the seriousness in which we make connections. I think it allows people to be simply themselves, and also it allows this growth opportunity for each people to really discover themselves and know what they want. Someone said, what's the weirdest, craziest thing you've ever hypothetically shoplifted? Oh, I know exactly what it was, especially like talk about being drunk a little bit. Me and my really good friend who I actually met my first day at my Catholic college, because I was like, oh damn, that weed test was really hard, huh? She was like, yeah, I had to stop smoking dabs. I was like, I didn't even stop smoking dabs. I just faked my drug test. And we our third eye connected, and we've been besties ever since. I'm actually hanging out with her this next weekend in Austin, Texas. She came and lived in Kansas City for about 6 months with me, which I love her so much for this. Her mom is probably listening now. Shout out, Queen. I love you. You raised the best daughter ever. But she lived in Kansas City for about 6 months, and we had the best time here. And I really thank her for doing that, because I needed a friend so bad during that time. And she was just she's always a fantastic person to have around, but it was just such a fun 6 months. Oh my God, it flew by. She was travel nursing. I was like, please stay. But also, like, I get it if you don't, because it's fucking Kansas City. Hello. But we would just get so fucked up together. And once again, her mom's listening, so please, so sorry. We didn't get in trouble. I'm sure you'll have a little laugh at this. But one day we just went on like a drinking and shopping day. And as a woman, there's nothing better than a drinking and shopping day with your girls. Because yes, you will hold up a pair of $150 boots and they'll go, get it. Yes, you should buy it. Like, there's such bad influences, but it's such a good time. You know what I mean? Like, let's be bad together. So we started the day off at like one Mexican spot. We got some lunch. We got some margs. We were like, do we go to Coach? We didn't, but we ended up shopping, went to Sephora. We went here, we went there. And then we ended up at a second margarita Mexican restaurant. And this Mexican restaurant is known for having the strongest margaritas in all of Kansas City. I'm talking potent. You get a whiff of them and you're like, your nose hairs are burning. Legally, I don't know if they're allowed to make these margaritas so strong. Do I get a pitcher every time I go? Yes, absolutely. It's called Ponax. It's on Southwest Boulevard. There's much better like authentic Mexican spots on Southwest Boulevard. The West Side is a very like one of the oldest areas in Kansas City, and it's an all Hispanic neighborhood. Some of the best food you'll ever eat, but Ponax specifically has the strongest margaritas in Kansas City. And it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 p.m. We're like, fuck it, let's go sit on the patio, let's have some margs. We get a pitcher. They have a lava lamp pitcher, which is half house margarita, like on the rocks, and then they top it with frozen strawberry margarita, and you mix it together. It's crazy. We had one pitcher, and then we're like, fuck it, we're eating, we're hanging out, we're gonna be here for a couple hours. We're chit-chatting with the old ladies next to us. They're looking at us like, oh, I remember when we were young, you guys are so fun, like, we love your energy. We're like, fuck it, let's order another pitcher. And then we got too drunk, and we were like, when you get too drunk in an environment, and this is why I love an Irish goodbye. I am pro Irish goodbye in an environment that is Midwest goodbying, where it's like, oh bye, oh bye, oh I forgot to say bye, oh let me go to the bathroom, oh let me say bye again. It's like, no. I'm too drunk. The Uber's literally outside. We have to go. And we had a pitcher of margarita left. So what did I do? I took the pitcher. I took the glasses we were drinking that were empty, stacked them, put them inside of the pitcher, took the pitcher, put it inside of my very large shopping bag. We walked out of there, got in the Ubered back to my apartment, took the pitcher out, poured 2 more margs. Yeah, please, Ponax, don't ban me. I'm so sorry. It was such a long time ago, and honestly, it's not even true. This is a lie. I just made this up. I'm just kidding. Haha, hee funny. But no, we got so drunk. And what do drunk girls do after the bars, after clubbing, after whatever? You go home, you put on your favorite music videos, and you throw ass. My poor boyfriend was home. It's like 5:30 in the afternoon. In the evening, let's be honest. It's basically evening at that point. He's like, what the fuck is going on? But I've never like shoplifted expensive things. I've never shoplifted diamonds. But have I run out of a restaurant with an entire full, I don't know, what is it, like 3-liter pitcher and 2 glasses with the lime still attached to the glasses? Perhaps, maybe in a dream. That's truly what it felt like. Anyways, there's something better than a good Britney music video post drinks with the girls throwing ass. I actually introduced that to my dad a while back. Oh, it was over Christmas. Every Christmas we get so drunk together. We sit down in the living room, we put on music videos. We play each other our favorite music videos. And I was like, Dad, we're having gay music video tonight. Do you know that? Do you know what that is? Him, like, knowing maybe 2 gay people. I'm like, we're having gay music video night. He's like, oh, vibes. Okay, whatever. My brother's like, what the fuck is that? I was like, it's when all your girls and your gays get together and you show each other your favorite music videos. Hello, that's peak existence right there. I don't even need to go to the clubs. I need a flat screen TV, a way to cast YouTube, and a bottle of wine. I'll be good. I will be good. Girl, I want to take pics. I want tips. Oh, the Savi bee is getting to my brain. I'm so sorry. I want tips on how to take better spicy pics. Any recommendations? Yes, absolutely. Okay, so let me be honest here. When you feel sexy, you look the sexiest, okay? You have to start with that motto. When you are feeling sexy, you will look the sexiest, all right? So that means not performing. You're not in a performance. You're not putting on this facade of someone else. You're not wearing lingerie you don't like. You're not in poses you don't like. You are doing things that make you feel good, okay? Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm having a really good ass day. Let's take some ass photos. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, pre-period, my tits are massive. Let's take some tit pics. Sometimes it's like, oh, I have this really good set of lingerie I've been wanting to wear. Let's do it in that. Do it in poses you feel comfortable in. When you are like sucking in and doing this and trying to hold this, it's like it's not gonna look sexy because you feel uncomfortable in your body. And I truly believe when it comes to the visualization of sexiness, that is an energetic push and pull. So if you are radiating sexiness, you will be perceived sexy. This is something an idea I've really come to, especially in my mid to late 20s. When I was in my early 20s, or like even when I was younger, I was like, sexy means the less clothes, the better. The more tits, the better. If my ass is out, that's perfect. If I look this way, it's fantastic. No. I mean, sure, but also like that superficial perspective will only be picked up by superficial people. So if you're trying to like reel in those superficial people, that's a fantastic way to go about it. But if you want the real freaks, the real sexy people, especially in my mid to late 20s, I've realized you can be completely covered and radiate sexiness by how you carry yourself, by how you present yourself to the world. That's the real sexiness. Truly, honestly. So when it comes to taking spicy pics, make sure you are comfortable. Make sure the poses you are in are fantastic. Okay, so let me give you some real tips. For ass pics, I always go below the ass up, okay? Because that's going to make it look absolutely fucking massive. If I'm doing titty pics, since I have smaller ones, I go from below. If you have bigger ones, you can go from below. They're going to look humongo, which I'm very jealous. But you can also go from above if you think about it in that way. And then maybe you twist your hip a little bit and you can get a little bit of ass, a little bit of tits, whatever you're looking for. But truly, honestly, best way to go about it is in a comfortable environment, okay? In a comfortable environment, comfortable with yourself, in a safe environment with a safe person. Do not be sending these things willy-nilly. I am not truly and honestly, I am not pro like spicy pic to randos. I mean, it's not worth it. With the internet nowadays, it ain't worth it. Like, send it to the love of your life, or like a new boyfriend, whatever. Make sure you're in a comfortable environment. But if you've known this person for a week, let me put my sunglasses down for this. Do they really deserve that? Okay, if you're in a long distance situation vibe, like sure, then you go from that perspective. But I think sexiness, anything involving sex and the adjectives of it, are all about energy. And when you feel yourself, you look the hottest, and that's the way to do it. If you want to curate a vibe to feel sexy, maybe you smoke a little J, you pour yourself a little glass of wine, maybe you're sober and we love that. You put on a good playlist, you set the mood lighting, maybe you put on a fun little sexy lingerie set, maybe you're naked, who knows? And then you go from there. Naturally, you will feel yourself, you will find the angles, and everything will be easy peasy lemon squeezy from there. The amount of nudes on people's phones that just don't need to have them from me. And I'm talking boyfriends, I'm not even talking randos. I really don't send nudes to randos, obviously. But like, wow. Those men did not deserve those things. No, they didn't. Be careful. Please be aware. All right. Also, this is a good conversation to have. Your sexiness or people's desire to have sex with you does not make you a worthwhile human being. When I was younger, I definitely had this complex where I was like, well, I have to be deemed fuckable in order to be deemed like worthwhile. And that's a really complex mindset to get into, and I think a lot of young people get into that mindset, and it's just like honestly the biggest waste of time, because like I said in the beginning, you know, if you are really putting out that vibe that, you know, I need to be deemed sexy, it kind of brings a lot of weirdos and not good people. And so I think it's important to curate a vibe that's like slightly off-putting, or like some people aren't gonna like it. You know, me up here in my crochet sweater and pink pants, it seems very like family friendly, which it is, but also it's like some people are gonna look at this and be like, I'm not interested. Do I give a fuck? No, because it's doing that that boundary holding for me that I want. If somebody can't get with this vibe, then do I even want them around me? You know what I mean? So it's good to be just like slightly off-putting. You don't have to be so consumable as an individual. I think it does put a lot of your actual good individualistic traits aside, the ones that you should uphold by needing to be so accepted, consumable, sexy, wanted. You know, you don't need to be wanted by every person. Not every person deserves to have you. So be brave enough to have those boundaries, to hold those boundaries. And I know a lot of you guys are probably sitting here like, well, I don't know what that looks like or is. That's okay. A lot of it does come through trial, tribulation, what you feel comfortable in, how you feel comfortable presenting yourself. I feel like I'm at I'm at a really good place in life where I'm like, I know who I am. I know how I like to be perceived, and I know how I enjoy presenting myself, and I don't give a fuck if anybody else around me like it accepts that or likes that. Obviously, I'm not being crazy, so it's like whatever. But it's like, if you're young, I really do encourage you to not be so likable, okay? In a healthy way. Don't be like a red-pilled bitch, you know? No one likes that, obviously. No one likes a Debbie Downer. Be an uplifting, kind person, but also like don't be somebody you're not. It's okay to be completely who you are, even if that means some people, you know, aren't gonna fuck with your vibe. You're doing the hard work for yourself by being yourself, okay? You're weeding out the weaklings by being truly who you are. It completely lifts your chances of meeting people more authentic, more open to you, more inspired by you. Does that make sense? I don't really know. We're getting deeper into the bottle. I gotta stop here. Not with the podcast, but with the wine. I gotta stop here, or else it's gonna get a real mess. You guys, this bachelorette trip, it's like bubble butlers, bubble bus, fucking winery tour, custom cowboy hat making. I'm like, whew. All right, I'm gonna get so drunk. I haven't thrown up in a while, but I feel like if I'm going to throw up, it's probably going to be on this bachelorette trip. Anyways.
Hello, this is my first call in, so we're gonna see how it goes. I have so many questions and I tend to ramble, but I'm gonna try to make it short. But I just got off my service shifts where a man told me I had terrible service to my face. So yeah, that kind of might go hand in hand with my question today.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted to talk and like ask about growing up and surviving in this cruel world. I hate to say it, but I am 21, and I know you've talked about before kind of like your early 20s is for figuring things out, breakdowns because this feels awful right now. And yeah, it really does feel like the weight of the world is crashing on me with like finances, like moving out, worrying about my future, just like growing up, like things like that. All that plus, I feel like the world is so different than it was maybe when you were my age. Not saying you're old, but I'm sorry. But yeah, I feel like the world was so different before, and it feels very doom and gloom. Everybody feels mean. I feel like everybody has so much hate in their heart. Everybody is over-consuming. It's just like, I feel like I feel like everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's just so different. Like, I want to go back to the Tumblr days, 2016, when we were all present and off of our phones. But yeah, basically, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but my question is kind of like, how have you dealt with these kind of stresses in your past years when you were my age? How have you dealt with these stresses and kind of like worked with them and instead of working against them? Because I want to get my shit together. But also that plus kind of like dealing with the world right now and like how to be happy and grow up in a world like this, because I feel like these days are hard and all I want to do is have fun with my friends and have a little laugh, have a little drink. Like, I don't want to have to worry about all of this stuff. I just want to be young. But yeah, one last thing I have to say is get your ass over here to California.
Oh, it cut off, but you're so right, Queen. You are so right. Oh, you're just 21 and you have a 21-year-old perspective. It really is like that. Like, I hate to say it, but when I was your age, I know you're like, maybe you're just old, but you didn't say that. But like, for real, I was 21 post-COVID. Well, mid to late COVID. So the damage had been done and the chaos had happened already. And I think the perspective you're having is something that just I think all young people have, where 21, early 20s is very like chaos mode because it should be chaos mode, You've never had to like pay bills before, show up for yourself, figure out your housing, figure out how to pay for groceries, pay attention to the world around you. Plus then there's the local news. Yeah, everything seems way too fucking much all at once. So I would recommend especially at that age, you need a little dose of fun. And especially if you're a server and you're 21, you need a little dose of fun. You gotta forget those fuck-ass customers you deal with and those men who are like, you are the worst server ever. Okay, because I wouldn't suck your dick. Yeah, maybe I am the worst customer ever or worst server ever, but also like, fuck you, dumbass. Like, you are in a good position. You're not in the wrong position, even with the chaos happening in the world right now. And trust me, I know the chaos happening in the world right now because my owner is Iranian. Like, trust, the war in the Middle East, I'm aware of it. Trust me, I'm aware of it. And the best thing you can do for yourself is also like stay compassionate and kind to your mental health, but also like when that old ass man is like, you're the worst server I've ever had, you can look at them and laugh in their face. Just kidding, don't laugh in their face, but like be like, oh wow, anyways, walk away, go behind a curtain and laugh out loud, because it really is not serious. There's people being bombed right now. There's a whole women's school being bombed right now, and you're a man telling me to my face that, oh, I wasn't a good server, you dumbass little bitch. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, there are people being targeted in this world for much less your tiny little grievance because I forgot your ranch. I'm not gonna let you get me down as a human being because of that. Seriously. And serving will teach you that. Being around the public will teach you that. Public service will teach you that. A lot of people take big issue with the teeniest, tiniest little things in this world that do not matter at all. And the best thing you can do is laugh it off on how dystopian they are. No, genuinely, there's some people who I interact with in the world that I'm like, you are a capital citizen from the Hunger Games, and I am a District 12 person, okay? And the best thing I can do, the same way Katniss did when she saw people with all these like, when she saw Tigress with her tiger tattoos and her shaved head and her tiger eyes and her tiger ears, is like laugh, because it's just genuinely like, what the fuck are we doing right now? Sometimes you really have to, even though you think what you're going through is the real world, sometimes you do have to like dose yourself with the real world of like, babe, there are bigger things going on. It's not that important. Personally, that's how I survive. And maybe that seems superficial, but it really is about like the give and take and the contrast of it all. Of like, we have to be aware of the situations going on in the world. We also have to be aware of like the wherewithal of ourselves and how much we can really extend ourselves and how much we can really give. And you're a 21-year-old individual. You should be focused on fun and enjoying life and trying your best and simply put, putting your best foot forward. Any other bullshit outside of you should not let it get to you. And if you're in the service industry, it's gonna take a while until that shit doesn't get to you. Trust me, I still wake up with nightmares of me being like, I forgot the side of ranch, bitch. Oh fuck. But also it's like, literally, ranch is not the most important thing in the world. You gotta laugh them off. You gotta just like not give a fuck. You're not gonna lose your job over it. And if you do, there's a different place out there that will hire you because you are fine in what you did. This world can be very cruel. Because of the 10 people, the 10 billionaires that are playing the game of this world or whatever it is, and then making the billions of us suffer because of it. But as resistance, I am going to try and show up the best I can in this world, be as me as possible, go after everything I desire, and that is in direct resistance of the conformity and the desire of us to be workers of the world. Genuinely, I don't do good. Can I be honest here? I do not do good with authority. This is something that all of my teachers, whenever my parents would go to parent-teacher conferences, oh fuck, they would always be like, your daughter is really not good with authority. I mean, I'll tell her to do something and she'll do it. But the principal tells her to do something, she's not doing it. She's not. You put too much pressure on her, she's not doing it. And it's because I have like an adverse reaction to authority. I don't know what it is. It's just like, fuck you kind of thing. It just is what it is. But a big part of like the fuck you to the authority of the world that feels like they can use and abuse you however they like is living your life exactly how you desire to be lived. So when that old ass man comes into your restaurant and is like, you forgot my blah blah blah, it's like, okay, should I comp it? Or are you gonna stop fucking complaining? You know, like sometimes it is like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? But I'm not going to listen to you bitch and complain. I'm going to actually go after what I want, what I desire, what I feel called to, the dreams I have, because that is in direct resistance of the conformity that they want you to do. And it really is as simple as that. Every time somebody asks me, who is in very confirmation of the world, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, I do social media marketing, and also I put out a podcast, and also I'm a horse wrangler, and also I work on a ranch, and also I'm a bartender, and also I'm a server. Their mind gets so overwhelmed with the idea of me doing so many different, and I'm an artist, and I'm a cat mom, and I buy and sell vintage clothing. Their minds get so overwhelmed with the idea of me doing so many different things because they didn't realize that was an option. You doing what you feel called to do in a positive and uplifting way, no matter what it is, that is the most important thing you could be doing ever. Okay? That is resistance right there. So don't get too down on yourself about the world, girl. I know it's very easy to do so, and of course we should be aware of the world around us, but also we have to know when to put ourselves first and when to honestly not give a fuck. Tips on exploring kinks / taboo shit. Well, don't get too taboo, because then it gets scary. It gets really scary. Don't do that. But like, when it comes to being a kinky individual, which I find myself actually being a fairly kinky individual, honestly, it's really important to find like a partner, or if your taboo is like multiple partners, whatever it is, it's just important to be in a space where not only is that accepted, but the rules and regulations behind it are known and uplifted. Okay? I feel like, especially when it comes to like the whole porn brain of it all, whenever you consume porn, there's also going to be like maybe some more hardcore shit. And when it comes to porn, you're not seeing the consent conversations they're having in the background. You're not seeing the fucking documents they're signing in the background. I have friends who are porn stars, OnlyStar fans, or OnlyFans stars, one of the other two, whatever, who work professionally in the sex industry. And, you know, when you're watching a 5-10 minute, I don't know, however long video, you aren't seeing how deep the behind the scenes go, such as getting tested before every performance, making sure you are vetting your partner, making sure you have lawyers involved, signing contracts, going over boundaries, making sure you have people who are also behind the scenes willing to step in if any of those boundaries are crossed. So I feel like when people are only consuming porn, you lose that aspect of like how actually like genuinely difficult it is to get to the kinky taboo shit. And so in the real world, men and women come into these positions of like hookups or sex, and they go, oh, well, I saw it here, so that should be accepted. And that's just not how it is. So when I say you need to be in an environment where they know the whole well-rounded idea of what comes when it comes to being kinky, that is so important. Because I think a lot of like young people will go, well, I saw it in porn, I saw this, I saw that, so it must be okay, right? With no prior conversation? No. Frankly, that is not okay. It isn't. You know, there needs to be a conversation beforehand. There needs to be an understanding of boundaries. And I think some people think like, oh, well, that takes the fun out of it. No. No, I think conversations are so important for garnering sexual excitement and for feeling safe in the bedroom. So then you're able to actually explore things you want to do and feel comfortable doing them. I feel like a lot of young women are put in positions where they're like, this could be fun, but like also it needs to be a little bit different. And I think a lot can be vetted if you simply have a conversation and vet out people and wait a little bit, you know? I mean, and I think with the internet, there's a lot more opportunities and communities for people to explore these different, maybe more kinky, taboo sides of themselves, which I think is exciting, instead of having to, like, I don't know, find a dungeon in the middle of nowhere and just like hope for the best. Like, there's actually a very popular dungeon here in Kansas City for this kind of environment, and it's like back in the day they had to like wait and research and hopefully find the right person, but nowadays it's like there is a lot of like conversation around these topics and a lot of communities who are willing to come forth. So if it's something you're curious about, have a safe partner, have these conversations, be very forthcoming with what you're looking for, and most importantly, what you're not looking for. Be very, very forward. And I think it should relatively set you up for a fun play experience, you know? I don't know. I think a lot of people think the conversation takes the fun out of it, but I am pro safety all the ways. And honestly, if you having a conversation with a potential partner about your boundaries or about if they've been tested turns them off, they are not at all fucking mature enough to even be having sex. Genuinely, I genuinely mean that. I think that's a safe vetting kind of way to go about it, you know? And it's not easy. It takes time. It takes time to find the right partner. It takes time to find the right space. It's like dating, you know? You're not going to meet the right person first fucking time. And if you try and make it work, it's probably not going to work. It's okay to be like, I experienced that. I'm looking for something different, or maybe they couldn't offer me what I wanted, so I'm gonna go ahead and back away. We're gonna try again. I think it's very important to know yourself, know your boundaries, put those things forward in order to have the best experience that you can have. If you want to explore it, I think in your local kind of communities and vibes and just putting yourself out there, you'll be able to, of course, advocate for yourself every step of the way. But I mean, like, even like meeting not to blow his cover, but like meeting my boyfriend, the last thing I would think is that he is a kinky individual until we started, like, you know, spending more time with each other, having more conversations, exploring each other more, and then it was revealed, you know. So it does take time and vetting and enjoyment and a little bit of boundaries here and there for you to be able to find what exactly you're looking for. I also think in general, a lot of people aren't looking for kinky shit. So if they aren't, that's okay. Everybody has different boundaries. Everybody has different sexual preferences they're looking for. And the right one will fit, the right one or the wrong one won't. So just take your time, work slowly, do your vetting process, stay safe, show up the best you can for yourself, and most importantly, have fun. Because that's what sex is all about. If you really think about it, sex is not about, and I think these are preconceived notions I had when I was younger, which was like sex is about like fulfilling my partner's needs in order to make myself feel good, or like I feel desired if I have sex and thus that makes me feel good, or, well, I'm in a relationship so I need to have sex. No. Sex is a bonding moment between two people to explore pleasure, mutual pleasure, okay? You are supposed to have fun. You're supposed to enjoy your time. You're supposed to enjoy being with that person. I think we've kind of got that lost, especially with the rise of like porn and consumption. We think it's a performance. We think it's an observation. No, it is exploration of each other and providence of pleasure for each other. It's exactly what it is. I don't know. Honestly, the older I get, the more I want to become a sex therapist. I feel like it'd be so fun. I don't know. Sex is just so taboo and no one talks about it, but actually it's like so important in everybody's lives. Even if you're asexual, like the absence of sex is something that's important, where it's like you're able to maybe even like look at the world in a clearer view. Like everybody's important, everybody's perspective is important, everybody's ideas is important. Even like the other day I saw a TikTok, trigger warning, not TikTok, but like it was somebody who was like, as somebody who hasn't had sex since I've been like 27, like I've never had sex, I still have never had sex, I've realized how unimportant it is. But then I went to their page and it's like every single video is about sex, and it was like, wow, well maybe it is important to you if it's the only thing you're going to talk about. Like, and I feel like it's such a hard thing to navigate, and I don't have all the answers, but it is something I'm very curious about as a person. And I'm not even like a very, what you could say, sexual being. I think there's people out there who are way more sexual than me, who like that is a massive driver for them, and I don't blame them, you know. I mean, it's fantastic, it's great, but something I definitely want to learn more, explore more. And I think that curious mind and that openness to ideas does provide a better sexual experience. But also, what provides the best sexual experience, whether you're kinky, oh my god, I have the hiccups, whether you're kinky, whether you're vanilla, whether you're asexual, is knowing yourself. Knowing yourself, knowing your boundaries, knowing your curiosities, knowing things you would be interested in trying if you found the right partner, knowing things that are completely off your table, and being yourself so you deter the people who are not curious about you for who you are, or interested in uplifting you for who you are. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I hopefully have some. I don't know. The Savi bees get into my brain, so bear with me, babe. Can you talk about fake friends and learning to rid yourself of them? Yeah, I can talk about that, babe. Here's the thing, the older I've get, and this is maybe like a good thing for you, but the older I've gotten, the less I've been around people who seem quote unquote fake. I feel like fake is definitely a observation or something that you run into more when you're younger, when people don't know themselves, they're not willing to stand by themselves, they're not willing to be authentic to themselves, and thus they just have fake interactions with the world. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? When you get older, you know yourself, you're more willing to be yourself, you're more willing to be like, hey, no, I don't really want to do that, or I'm not that person, and thus you have like less fake interactions. When I was younger, I definitely harbored resentment for some people in my life who I deemed as fake friends. But in reality, now that I'm older, I've realized they just could not offer me the full friendship I was looking for. And they really just wanted a roommate who would party. And I was not that person, and thus they didn't like me. And like, I don't harbor resentment anymore because I'm able to see it from a bigger perspective and a bigger picture. And we were young. Of course, you're going to be a little bit more selfish than you were. So I will say, with time and with age and getting older, you stop kind of like comparing and contrasting people's behaviors or taking them so personally, which is a good thing, but also that comes with other people learning to know themselves a little bit better and learning to be more authentic and honest within themselves. I know people in my life who, sure, maybe some people would deem as fake friends, but in reality, it's just like they're just party people. They like to party. They only want to party. If I want to party, I'll hang out with them. I'll have a good time. But if I'm not partying with them, they're just not somebody who's going to be in my life. Would some people call that fake friends? Yes. Would I call that party friends? Yes. You know, it's the same thing that comes like the relationship menu. If you think about a relationship menu, you go, you sit down at a restaurant, say it's a Mediterranean restaurant, since we've been talking about shawarma since I ate it for lunch. You go, you sit down at a Mediterranean restaurant, you ask for penne vodka. Okay? You ask for fettuccine alfredo, made home fresh. That server's gonna look at you and be like, babe, what the fuck are you asking for right now? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? That's gonna make you feel stupid and dumb. Okay? So if you can look authentically at a person, and sometimes it's hard. I think the more fake friends idea comes from somebody presenting themselves as somebody that they're not. And the older you get, the more willing you are to become authentic with who you are, the less time you have to lie. Thus, I say growing up makes you a little bit more yourself. But you wouldn't go sit down at a restaurant and order something off the menu that you know is not going to be there. So when you are presented with an individual in your life and you see them fully for who they are and how they behave, and you ask them to behave outside of the personality menu they provided, they might not be able to live up to those expectations. And this has really helped me from becoming depressed or saddened by people in my life. Okay? And this comes with friends, this comes with parents, this comes with family. Let me provide you a couple different like explanations. So like my best friend in Austin, Texas, I'm not going to be like, hey, babe, can you come this weekend to go shopping with me? And she's like, what? No. Oh, well, that's not a good explanation because I'm literally going to be with her this weekend. I won't be like, in 3 months, can you come shopping with me? She's going to be like, I mean, maybe. I love you, so I can try and make it work, but what are you asking me? This is like so random and 3 months away. Like, no, I probably can't make it. You can't get mad at that for knowing it's outside of her boundaries, outside of her experience, outside of what is actually opportunistic. With my mother, perhaps, I can't, like, the Savi bee is getting to me. I can't ask her for certain motherly things because I know she is not able to do it for me. Like the whole period thing. I can't go back in time and be like, hey, you should have talked to me about my fucking period because I didn't know what it was. Because she is a person who is unable to do that. And I can't blame her. She's doing what she can with what she got, you know? Or maybe it's a party friend I have now. I'm not going to ask them to Sunday morning brunch when I know they are out drinking Saturday night until 5 a.m. Okay? It very much is so. We need to be very real about understanding people around us. And I don't mind having maybe more superficial people or people who are only partiers or people who don't party at all. I don't care. Like, I'm a Gemini. Okay, trigger warning, astrology talk. I'm a person who can truly and honestly get along with every single type of individual. And I know every individual is going to be very, very different from the next. And one person is not going to be able to be my best friend and inhabit all of those things. Or my mom can't be everything I asked for. Or this person can't be everything I asked. It's okay. Take that pressure off of those people so they don't feel so put down. But you know that if you surround yourself with a really good group of people or a diverse group of people, then you will have somebody for Sunday brunch, and you will have somebody to go out with Saturday night, and you will have somebody to go thrifting with on Tuesday afternoon, and you will have a parent to talk about one thing and another parent to talk about another thing. Do you know what I mean? I do think my perspective on fake friends has switched because as you get older, you're more willing to be authentic in who you are. And I think that's beautiful. You're more willing to be authentic in also your limitations. I'm a person who's like, I'm fucking busy. And I will tell you that. I'm so sorry if I can't hang out, but I'm fucking busy. I'm doing a lot of things. Am I complaining about doing a lot of things? No, I'm very happy to be drunk up on this podcast. But like, I'm busy. It is what it is. Doesn't mean I don't love you. I don't support you. I don't think you're cool. It's just, sorry, I'm busy. Now, I do think when it comes to like maintaining relationships, you do have to put yourself aside and you do have to show up and be there for people every once in a while. But also it's like, don't order off the menu constantly if you know it's not an option on the menu. And thus, I think if you're surrounded by people, maybe in like LA, it's different, love, okay, with the networking of it all. But if somebody is that unfucking trustworthy that you deem them as a fake friend, honestly, I don't think that's somebody you need to keep in your life. With everybody is different boundaries, different expectations, different life stories, different jobs, different children, different pets, different everything. And being aware of those things and their limitations is very, very important to harboring positive connections within your life. But also, if you find yourself in a position where it's like, this person is evil, awful, rotten, can't ever be there for me, only talks about themselves, is like just like completely self-absorbed, then maybe that's not a person you need to have in your life. If you deem somebody as a fake friend, honestly, I don't think that's a person you need to ever have around you. And you know what? When I was younger, when I was going through these things with fake friends, those people were genuinely fake friends. They couldn't hold time for me. They couldn't see my perspective. They couldn't show up for me in like whatever was my personal menu, especially when I was going through a lot. And it's not worth keeping people around you who can't understand your boundaries, who can't understand your perspective, because it's just going to cause a lot of fights, a lot of terror, a lot of not good times. And I want you to have the best times possible. And that includes keeping understanding, compassionate, and kind people around you. So if you find yourself around fake people you would deem fake friends, maybe they aren't people you should have around you. Period. Point blank.
Hi, Hannah. I love you so much. I'm calling from sunny LA. It's so beautiful here. I'm sitting on a bench overlooking like the whole city. I just smoked my morning joint. Better clean my room. Oh my god, if you need one thing to seal the deal to come to LA, it's that I'm spending my birthday, which is early March, at the beach, and it's gonna be like 75 degrees. So yeah, you should definitely come here. It's so awesome. I moved from Pennsylvania, so I'm really enjoying it, especially as a depressed girl. It's like, wow, the sunshine is really nice. But I'm just calling because I wanted to know your thoughts on like how to deal with codependency, kind of, which is so crazy because I've always been super independent. Like, I'm an only child. I always grew up just always wanting to do stuff by myself, but now I have, like, I'm in college right now. I'm in film production, so I'm on a lot of sets. I'm really interacting with my friends a lot. I see my boyfriend pretty much like all day, every day. And it's just like going to be really rough going home. Like, I'm on spring break right now, and I feel like it's going to be really rough going home for the summer and not having that much interaction with people, especially my boyfriend, like my closest friends. I just feel like being at home with my family is going to really suck, and I want to learn how to, you know, better enjoy time by myself, because I used to really enjoy it, but now it's been increasingly difficult for me just because I miss being surrounded by people. But yeah, I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. I love you so much. I've been a listener since I was definitely way too young. I was like 14, I think. 15? But yeah, I love you so much. And I hope you have an awesome day, and don't forget to enjoy the sun if the sun is out. It's so beautiful.
14? Girl, what the fuck? Anyways. Love you down. So here's the thing. Codependency, I think, is measured by something outside of what you're dealing with. Codependency is like, I can't make choices for myself without somebody else. I can't even like think about myself without the idea of somebody else. So I do think you're outside of the codependency aspect. I think you're just gonna like miss where you're from. And that's good. That's okay. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. Okay? So yeah, like going back to your hometown over the summer and having to be back where you are, that you grew up, which is like a little bit traumatizing, and around your parents, and reverting back to your 16-year-old self. It may not be what you need, but it may be what you actually are supposed to go through, because it'll help you understand yourself more. It'll help you understand where you came from more. It'll also help you appreciate how far you've gotten moving to LA, making these connections, working in film, meeting your boyfriend, whatever it may be. And dare I say, if your relationship can't last you simply going home for, oh my God, a month, 2 months, then that relationship is not worth it. It's not. It really isn't. And I'm coming from this as somebody who like sees somebody in my life who is in a relationship with a woman who was their wife, who spent 5 years apart. And that person is still their wife. You know? Like, oh, a little month, a little 2 months. Oh, it's going to be hard. Let's like sex over FaceTime or whatever. Like, whatever. Send a little nude, send a little fun little text, whatever. If they can't wait that long, then it's just not, it isn't worth it. If you don't have a good situation, then it isn't worth it. You'll figure out that as the time comes. But whatever situation you're provided with, even if it's something that you're like, oh, I really don't want to deal with that. I don't want to go home. I don't want to travel here. I don't want to move here. It's like through those trials and tribulations, you will ultimately learn more about yourself than like the easiest situations will. You'll also appreciate the environment you set up for yourself more, and it will push you further than you ever have been. So I wouldn't stress yourself out so much. Codependency, I think, is really measured in the idea of you like rely on your partner to provide you self-worth. You sacrifice your own needs and desires for your other person. You struggle with like irresponsibility because maybe the other person does. You're just not fully yourself because of the other person. So I don't think you're necessarily struggling with codependency. I think more so you're struggling with the idea of like, I'm in a good place and I don't want to go back. But sometimes going back is good to remind yourself not only where you came from, but also how far you have made it. Oh, those little seagulls in the back. I'm honestly so jealous of you. I love you. I'm proud of you. You've done the damn thing. Stand strong beside yourself. Stay true beside yourself. What makes it, makes it. What doesn't, doesn't. But it sounds like you're in a fantastic place. And we're going to cheers to that. Amen. Someone said talk about magic mushrooms. I'm begging. Oh, I'm so ready to do mushrooms. I am so ready to do mushrooms. I'm very ready to do mushrooms. I think I've done mushrooms a lot, theoretically, in Minecraft. I have done, if I were to genuinely like weigh out all the mushrooms I have done in front of me, it would probably be like, I don't know, 50 grams of mushrooms. Like, honestly, in my entire life, I have had some of the best experiences on mushrooms. I've had some of the worst experiences on mushrooms. But no matter what, the same thing with life. It's so funny. With things that come naturally from the ground, non-synthetic, mushrooms, weed, whatever it may be, they have the same kind of teachings that I find very interesting that also life teaches you, and thus like full circle makes me feel a little Catholic for a moment. Not Catholic, but like a little religious in whatever earthly religion it might be. But it is kind of like that synchronicity that makes you giggle a little bit. That's like, damn, life be teaching me these things, but also so do synthetic plants sometimes. It's interesting. All of this is hypothetical. Don't come for me. But I haven't done mushrooms in a while. And as you guys know, I've been very depressed. It's just real. It's true. Let me be honest with you guys. I've been very depressed. And my boyfriend was like, when's the last time you did mushrooms? Like, not that it's going to cure your depression, but maybe it'll provide some insight that you've been curious about. And I was like, wow, I went through a time, especially starting COVID, I just had a lot of mushrooms on me, like a lot, like a quarter, like a massive Ziploc baggie of mushrooms on me constantly. And I was doing them all the time, theoretically. And from those experiences, I didn't gain a lot. But also, like, since I was doing them so constantly, I felt a need to stop and take like a clean break. So I haven't done mushrooms in about 3 years. And now I'm like, Loki, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Because They really do. And the magic mushroom experiences I've had have been very beautiful and very grounding and very connecting, especially to myself in a way that I rarely get to experience in a very uninhibited way. You're almost faced with yourself in a raw and real way that you've never been faced before. And I enjoy doing them during the spring and summer because also like the nature connectedness to the world around you is very important to that experience. But it forces you to combat and confront things that maybe you've been hiding or fearing for a while. And I think that's a big reason why I haven't done them in a second. But now that I'm like, all right, let's get a little chaotic with it. Let's just try random things out. I do think I'm ready to try some, in a controlled environment soon. So it's something I'm definitely looking forward to. If you're ever going to be in an environment where this is present, I do recommend having some sort of trip sitter there, a trusted individual you can talk to. I don't recommend doing them alone. I don't recommend doing any sort of drug alone ever, okay? Setting a good environment, which includes lighting, music. Don't put a TV show on. You don't need to eat any food beforehand. Like, just chill, get comfortable, get cozy. Don't be in bed, but be somewhere that feels comfy and cozy and chill and environmentic and safe for a good 4 or 5 hours. I remember doing mushrooms with my best friends from childhood, and we were literally you guys, this is like during COVID. Cracks me up. Mid-COVID, me and my friends pitched to our parents who had known each other from childhood. We were like, listen, there's nothing going on in the world. We've all tested negative. Let's go on a 1-hour road trip to our best friend's house in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. Okay, in Springfield, Missouri, the home of Chapel Roan. And we're going to go hang out with her for the weekend. All of our parents were like, okay, fine, whatever. Get these kids out of our hair. We're begging. Please, for the love of God. And so we got to Springfield, Missouri. I have the mushrooms because I had the quarter bag or whatever. We all eat mushrooms. We're all tripping balls, jumping on a trampoline in the sunshine, in our bikinis. I was wearing fairy wings. You guys, I'll upload the photos on Patreon from this trip. Literally, it was so transformational because I was with these incredible, beautiful, wonderful women who I had grown up with, who I loved. And then day turned to night and we ended up in the shed in the backyard that was painted in glow-in-the-dark paint. And she had extra glow-in-the-dark paint, so we were painting all over our bodies and our legs in glow-in-the-dark paint. And the next day we laid in the sunshine on more mushrooms and the glow-in-the-dark paint was still on our bodies. And then the sun was burning us, so we came home with burned smiley faces and stars under our legs. Literally our parents were like, where the fuck have you been? What's been going on? But I think no matter whether you're intoxicated or not, there's always an opportunity to experience and understand yourself fully and deeply. But there is a perspective that magic mushrooms brings that truly lifts the veil off of your head and shows you this is reality, whether it's scary, whether it's good. Luckily, I've been in a lot of good positions, but I've also known people who have done it in a very scary position where it's uh-oh, sometimes you have to face the reality that you've created for yourself. And either way, there's something positive you can take from it, the same way life experiences. There's always something positive you can take from it. But I do think with mushrooms, theoretically, it does put you in a position where it levels out everything and provides you the perspective to look at things honestly and authentically without judgment and understand yourself a little bit better, understand your position better, understand what you need better. And I think now more than ever, especially going into my Saturn return of a little bit of, I'm a little scared, let's be honest. I also just made a bunch of moon water on the blood moon, lunar eclipse that I'm gonna chug and drink. Yes, scary, but I do need to usher in a wave of change and transformation that I'm very excited about, but also a little fearful for. I think also mushrooms help you understand yourself, understand your position, have a little fun, enjoy life, realize it's not so serious, and also understand what you want better. And that's kind of what I'm desiring and deserving of. And thus, I'm kind of looking forward to it more. But I don't think I don't have any, and I'm not in the position to do it. And whenever it comes to like recreational drugs that are legal or not illegal, whenever they approach me is the right time. I never go seeking for it. I think if you view it as medicine, the medicine will approach you when it's necessary. Maybe it's a savvy bee talking or whatever. But when it comes to all the recreational substances I have done, magic mushrooms is at the top of the list for just like enjoyment, safety, comfort, kindness, compassion. Now, I also have done, I'm not even kidding, 10 grams of magic mushrooms at once. Yes, babe. Yes, I made it into a tea. Me and my boyfriend, when we first met, I made it into a tea with extra lemon. Lemon juice apparently like really makes it very potent. So 10 grams, hot water, lemon juice. We chugged it. And I was on the fucking floor, like rocking back and forth. Too much of anything is never a good thing. I did not get anything from that trip other than I was just overwhelmed. Little teeny tiny small amounts. That's what you want. Whether it's weed, which is legal, whether it's anything else, the smaller the amount, the better. Even alcohol. Like, you don't need a mass amount of things to make you realize what you need to realize. Sometimes a little bit does the trick. Start small, work your way up. But I'm definitely in the mood, in the realm where I'm like, I'm getting a little bit curious about magic mushrooms. And I think once spring rolls around and I can go to the river and like chill and write and be in the sunshine in my bikini, in my specifically Sydney Mary bikini, then I think magic mushrooms will enter my life again. But like I said, it's been about 3 years, so I'm chilling, I'm taking my time, I'm being aware of the situation, I'm being aware in the environment, and when it approaches me, and I'll learn the best I can, hopefully, from that. But maybe you'll have a story time coming up soon.
Hi, Hannah and the other Smoke Sesh Shotties. I am so grateful for this pod. I think it is such a great thing to be able to listen to weekly, and yeah, I love your content. I love the community. It's amazing. Anyways, this is more like a confessional, so but you said you wanted crazy stories in last week's episode. So yeah, basically like my boyfriend and I have been having this threesome with a girl that I like got really into last year when I was like living with her. Like she was my roommate. Anyways, the other night we saw her again. This has been happening for like over a year, and I told her about the pod, and like all three of us sat down to record a voice memo for you, like talking about it. But we ended up getting really distracted, and it never actually we recorded a voice note, but it had nothing to do with this pod. But anyways, yeah, I don't know, but we still see her. It's been over a year. There are definitely some crazy times that happened, but I think overall it was worth it. Anyways, love you. Bye.
Okay, no. So this girl sent me a DM before that was like, I met this girl. She was my roommate, bisexual as fuck. My boyfriend was into women, and we ended up hooking up. At first, it was great, and then it was bad a little bit because there was some serious miscommunications, as it is sometimes with three-ways. And then we all just talked about it, but we keep hooking up. And honestly, it's so much fun. It's crazy, but we've been really enjoying it. She was like, I moved out of that house, study abroad, came back last semester of college, and we are still going strong. Here's the thing. Me personally, I am not a person who can share in that sort of way, but I do think it is, and also like get together with your babes and send in that voice message. I'm begging. Because literally, I'm not even kidding. I am so open and I want this to be an open space that anything you desire, anything you deem fit for yourself should be available in a healthy way. In a healthy way. You guys know each other. You know what you want. You know your boundaries. Sure, maybe there was a miscommunication at first, but you fixed it. It's going good. I'm not a polyamorous type of individual, but like if there's polyamorous people who listen to this podcast, hell yeah, you're welcome. You know what I mean? Like I don't ever want to shut out any type of person unless you're frankly evil, and polyamorous people are not evil. But it is such a funny situation that it's like we just happen to like be together and then hook up, and now we've been like hooking up for such a long time. I kind of love it because that's how love truly, certainly, honestly is, where it's like I was just in this situation and then it ended up working, and it just hasn't stopped working. We've been working since, and I'm just kind of like riding the high. That's truly how it is when you fall in love, when you are in love with somebody. It's like no matter the good or the bad, we figure it out. We're honest with each other. We get over the hardships, and we truly just try and have a good time. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's beautiful no matter how many people are involved. So I love love. I love you. I hope you're having fun. I hope it's working out for you. And cheers to that. Cheers to my polyamorous smoke sesh girlies. I hope you guys have had a fantastic day with me today. I'm about to do something very risky and scary, but we are going to do it together. I know. I have a full jar of moon water, specifically full moon blood eclipse water. And I sweetened it a little bit with honey because I am here to set my intentions that I am calling forth everything that serves the highest potential of me, everything that gives way to all of my highest potentials and the best possible me. I am releasing anything that doesn't serve that purpose or serve me, and I'm calling forth everything positive. I'm about to chug this moon water. Yes, I am. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to Smoke Sesh. Oh my god, what an episode. I hope you guys had a good time. Sorry, this is probably a bit chaotic. I'll have a more well-rounded, less wild episode for you guys next week. But thank you for staying tuned with me. I hope my new perspectives could hopefully grow on my old perspectives. And I simply want to say I love you guys. Thank you for being here. If you want to see more from me, join the Patreon, patreon.com/smokeseshorty. Thank you guys, everybody who has been joining. I do an extra episode every Thursday where I answer every single question, okay? I also upload new moon, full moon, different kinds of write-ups, journal prompts, spell work. I do Sunday Spirit where we talk about different things to help us grow. I do Monday Inspro where I share my personal Pinterest and Tumblr if you're curious about what's been inspiring me. And much more. Please come join, come support. And if you want to see what I'm up to and you want to submit your questions, Hannah Marlene on Instagram. But with that being said, stay sane, stay safe, and stay sexy. And I'll see you all so soon. Mwah.